Hello everyone! Today, I want to share a story with you. A story that might sound familiar because it could be your own. It's a story about courage, growth, and the power of sharing your voice. This is the story of how I started my YouTube journey and how you can start yours. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into this adventure together. It all began one quiet evening. I was sitting on my bed, scrolling through YouTube. I saw creators from all over the world sharing their lives, their ideas, their passion. Some were cooking, some were gaming, some were just talking about their day. And I wondered, could I do this too? I felt a small spark inside me. Maybe you've felt it too. The idea stayed in my mind for days. I kept thinking, maybe I'll start tomorrow, maybe next week. I was nervous. Maybe English isn't perfect and I don't have a fancy camera. I worried about what people would think. But that spark didn't go away. It grew stronger. One morning, I decided to stop waiting. I picked up my phone, opened the camera, and pressed record. I didn't have a script, just some notes. I spoke about something I love, my favorite hobby. My hands were shaking and my words were not perfect, but I kept going. When I finished, I watched the video, I smiled. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Uploading that first video felt like climbing a mountain. I took a deep breath and pressed publish. My heart was pounding. I didn't know what would happen, but I knew I had started. After the first video, doubt started to creep in. What if nobody watches? What if people laugh? What if I make mistake? But then I remembered something important. Every creator starts with 0 subscribers. Every journey begins with a single step. I decided not to focus on numbers. Instead, I wanted to focus on learning and growing. I made another video, and then another. Each time I felt a little braver. I stumbled over words. I laughed at my mistakes. And I kept going. I learned that fear is part of the journey, and that it gets smaller every time you face it. With each video, I learned something new. I learned how to speak more clearly. I learned how to use simple editing tools to make my videos better. I learned how to write titles and descriptions. I learned how to be patient with myself. Sometimes I spent hours recording and re-recording a video. Sometimes the lighting was bad or the sound wasn't clear, but I kept trying. I watched tutorials and asked other creators for advice. I celebrated each small improvement. Over time, I realized that YouTube isn't about being perfect. It's about being yourself and sharing what matters to you. One day, I woke up to a comment on my video. It was from someone in another country. They said my video inspired them to try something new. I was amazed. My words had traveled across the world and touched someone's life. More comments came. Some were kind, some were helpful, and some offered advice. I replied to each one. I realized that YouTube is not just a platform. It's a community. It's a place where people come together to learn, to share, and to grow. This is basically way back 2018 before pandemic when I got my first gaming channel. After that, I started watching other small creators. I saw their journeys, their struggles, and their victories. I learned from them and supported them. We became friends, even though we lived far apart. As the weeks went by, I created a routine. Every Sunday, I would plan my video, I would write down my ideas, practice speaking, and set up my recording space. I learned to manage my time and stay organized. Sometimes I felt tired. Sometimes I didn't know what to talk about. On those days, I reminded myself why I started: to share, to learn, and challenge myself. I watched my old videos and saw how much I had grown. Slowly, my subscribers increased. My confidence grew. I felt proud of my progress. I really hope this will happen as well on this channel that I have now, which is the Mac Coding. Subscribe. 3 months passed. I looked back at my journey and realized how much I had changed. I was more comfortable speaking English. I was better at editing videos. I had made new friends and inspired others to start their own channels. But the most important change was inside me. I was no longer afraid to share my ideas. I had found my voice. Now, I want to invite you to join me. I challenge you to commit to YouTube for 3 months. Imagine yourself taking the first step, just like I did. Imagine sharing your story, your ideas, your dreams. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't worry about being perfect. Just start. Use your phone, your laptop, or whatever you have. Speak from your heart. Your journey will have ups and downs. You will make mistakes and you will learn. You might feel scared, but you will grow stronger. You will connect with people, inspire others, and discover new things about yourself. 3 months from now, You will look back and see how far you've come. Let me share some lessons from my own journey. First, be patient with yourself. Learning something new takes time. You don't need to rush. Second, connect with others. Reply to comments, join online groups, and support fellow creators. You are not alone. The third one, celebrate your progress. Every video, every subscriber, every comment is a step forward. The fourth one, don't compare yourself to others. Your journey is unique. Focus on your own growth. Stories are powerful. Your story can inspire someone who feels alone. Your story can teach someone who is curious. Your story can bring joy, hope, and laughter, for sure. When you share your story, you give others permission to share theirs. You build a community of courage and kindness. Of course, there are challenges. Sometimes you'll feel discouraged. Sometimes you wonder if anyone is watching. Sometimes you want to give up. But remember, every creator faces these feelings. It's normal. When you feel stuck, take a break. Talk to friends. Watch your old videos and see how much you've improved. And remember why you started. You have something valuable to share. Imagine yourself 3 months from now. You've posted videos, shared your ideas, and grown as a person. You feel proud, confident, and excited. You might even inspire someone else to start their journey. You become part of a bigger story, a story of courage and growth. So, will you accept the challenge? Will you commit to YouTube for 3 months? Your journey begins with one small step. Record your first video, share your story, connect with others. Leave a comment if you accept this challenge, subscribe, and join our community. Let's support each other and grow together. Remember, your story matters. Your voice is important. The world is waiting to hear from you. As we reach the end of this story, think about your own dreams. What do you want to share? What do you want to learn? And who do you want to become? YouTube is a tool, a way to express yourself, to learn, and to connect. It's not being famous or perfect. It's about being real. Take a moment to imagine your first video. What will you talk about? What message do you want to send? Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for being part of this journey. I believe in you. I know you can do this. Your journey starts today. Take the challenge. Commit to 3 months. Share your voice. I'll be here cheering you on. See you in your first video. See you in the comments. See you on this adventure. Thank you and good luck.